Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Backmarkers Podcast, Episode 2, with your favorite content creators for Formula One, Average F1 Consumer, and Zane Sewell. Today, we are going to be taking viewer questions. We posted an Instagram story around a week-ish ago, and we were just like, yo, you can ask us anything. And people asked us stuff, and I had my Discord staff organize 20 of these questions in a random order that I don't know. So if your question is not featured or it was featured last and nobody got to listen to it, join my Discord and take it up with them. Make their lives miserable if you'd like. I really don't mind as long as more people join it. But anyways, there's two things I want to say before we get into these questions. Number one, this $30 special from Temu just got in today, a Jalen Brunson New York Knicks jersey. Zane and I are both New York Knicks fans, so we're a little depressed right now, but yeah, it's all good. But Knicks 2026 is going to be an absolute movie.
You know what they say? We are the New York Knicks, sucking on New York.
I've never heard that before. I think that might just be in the UK. Over here, it's just more like fuck Boston and... Yeah, I think you're just consuming the wrong type of media, honestly. But yeah, this came in the mail today, and I was like, dude, gotta wear it on the podcast. And another thing, I know we talked about fast food last episode, Zane, and I got something from McDonald's today that I never knew you could buy from McDonald's for the small price of $2. Take a look at this. Audio only listeners, I'm gonna give you some ASMR, and you can guess what this is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Audio only, what do you think it is? If you said a bag of ice, you would be correct. You can buy a bag of ice at McDonald's for $2.
McIce.
And yes, this has plenty to do with Formula One because I said so. They were not very happy to make that for me because I don't think they've maybe ever done that. But I was in the app and I was like, oh, you can get a bag of ice. So that's your lovely podcast intro for today.
I think it's better that you use the app to get it because imagine how much ore you'd be losing just going up to the cashier and just being like, oh yeah, can I just get a kilo bag of ice, please?
A bag of ice. Yeah. I was in like the absolute bowels of the McDonald's app, just like in other.
Like the carrot bags.
It's like syrup and ice. So anyways, enough dicking around. Like I said, we're doing viewer questions. Neither of us have any idea what questions are first, what questions are even there. So I'm just going to click on it and we're going to read the first question. All right, ready, set, go. Number one, do you think Yuki Tsunoda will sniff the ball sack of victory this year? Zane, what do you think?
I think he'll be lucky enough to sniff the podium. I think he'll get a podium, but a victory is a bit too much to ask, in my opinion.
I think both are too much to ask. Realistically, if Max is having trouble getting that car on the podium, I don't think he's having trouble getting that car into Q2 these days. I mean, let's be real. I don't think he's going to get a podium and much less win a Grand Prix. I would love to see it, dude. I love Yuki Tsunoda. But, you know, we got to be realistic here.
It's not a realistic expectation, but I feel like you never know. You might just get like one crazy race like Brazil last year where like flipping, I don't know, Latifi could rejoin Formula One and just win. You know what I mean? Like one of the races where
like Kevin Magnussen on pole type vibe.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I think that's a pretty easy question to answer, to be honest. And Yuki Tsunoda's a great driver. That car is just not great.
Yeah,
and it is tailor-made for Max Emilian Verstappen. So I'm going to move on to question number 2. Let's open it. Ooh, should Alpine hire Abby Pulling? This is a controversial question because Abby Pulling is a woman. And so you're like, oh, well, if I say no, then I'm sexist, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. Because I am going to say no and not be sexist. You want me to tell you why? Because F1 Academy is too slow. They don't prepare these extremely talented young women for Formula One in F1 Academy. They have to go elsewhere. And it's hard for them to get an F3 seat because no one takes F1 Academy seriously. So if Abby Pulling can get into F3 and move into F2, then yes. But right now, F1 Academy drivers are driving go-karts with rear wings. I mean, I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming the FIA or Formula One or whoever's doing it. I think F1 Academy needs to be faster and prepare these young women for Formula One. And if that's like the so-called point, well, let's be real. F4 is faster than these cars. I actually don't know, but they're around F4, I'm pretty sure. Sorry for my tangent, but Zane, what are your thoughts? You don't have to agree with me.
No.
You don't have to.
I do agree. Like Formula One is a big push. You know what I mean? Like even if you were to ask, what's the likelihood of a certain Formula 3 driver getting to Formula One? It's still not guaranteed. You know what I mean? So I think I'd love to see, like, just for the sport in general, to see her to be able to get into like one of the lower Formula categories, like the Formula 4, 3, 2, whatever. That would be pretty sick, just to see like how she'd do, because in Formula Academy she's goated. You know what I mean? Like she's untouchable. So I think, it would definitely be interesting. I personally don't see it happening though, and that's not coming from a sexist place. That's just coming from the current trajectory that she's on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see it change, but I mean, like, we've seen Sophia Florsch in F3. Is she still in F3? She's got to be like 25. But she was in F3 for a while and was not able to do much. Yeah. But I would say that Abby Pulling is by far a better driver than Sophia Florsch. Yeah. And maybe even Jamie Chadwick. I wasn't really watching the W Series, but Jamie Chadwick was kind of forced out of the junior formulas and had to go to Indy Lights, where I think she still is now, maybe, at least in the last couple of years. I'm not really sure. I do think that Abby Pulling or Dorianne Pan, is it Pin or Pan? I don't even know. I think they are some of the best chances of a woman getting into Formula One in a long time. I do think it's really far-fetched, which is unfortunate, but I don't think, especially right now, Abby Pulling has any reason to be of importance to Alpine. So it's an unfortunate answer, but that is my view on everything. I wish it was more feasible, but it's not the way things are, and things need to change in that regard.
Yeah, no, of course, as much as we'd like to say yes, I just don't think it's a realistic thing to say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Question number 3. Boom. Will Lance Stroll's recurring wrist injury from 2023 be the catalyst to a near future F1 exit? Who retired from injury? It was Kurt Busch from NASCAR. Do you know anything about NASCAR, Zane?
I probably know more about flipping Dora the Explorer than NASCAR, to be honest.
All right, that's fair. Well, Kurt Busch retired from injury somewhat recently, and he was like I think he won a championship or two. I'm not huge into NASCAR. I used to be when I was a kid, but I could see it happening, and I don't really think it's primarily because of the injury, but I think it's definitely pushing him in that direction, because we were all so crazy. We were like, oh my God, Lance Stroll healed a broken wrist in 2 weeks, like he went to the Pokey Center or something. And now it's coming back to bite him in the ass. So I do think this will be a chronic thing. And based on what I've been hearing about him in the sport, as like without injury, there were rumors that he's been getting very angry with his engineers. And I know there's been a certain Aston Martin person that has claimed that wasn't true. There's also been Aston Martin people that claim there is some truth to that. So, you know, there's no way to really know at this point. But I do think the injury is definitely pushing him in the right direction. I don't think it'll be a catalyst necessarily, but it is a factor to take note of.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think in my opinion, it's something that's low-key coming, but it's not going to be a wrist injury. That's sort of like, he might use it as an excuse or whatever, but I genuinely don't see him that happy, just in Formula One in general. I mean, I saw the same thing as you, that like he was like not getting along with his engineers. He's obviously not enjoying the car at all. And I think, to be honest with you, I think he's got to the point in his career where he sort of kind of accepted that he's not going to be a world champion, as like tough as it is for a Formula One driver to admit it. And maybe he's just thinking like, fuck it, like, you know, I've done my Formula One experience. Maybe it's just time to, what's that phrase? Like, die a hero or become a villain or whatever.
Yeah, because Lance Stroll's definitely dying a hero, Zane. That makes perfect sense to me.
You know?
And I said this in my 2026 seat prediction video. I just think he's probably also tired of being the laughing stock of the sport, which he has been for 3+ years now.
Yeah.
He was cool at first at Williams and at Racing Point when he got pole, and I know he has a podium in Williams at Baku one year, right? And I think he converted pole Turkey 2020 into a podium, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
I think he finished P3. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the point is, for a long time, he has become the laughing stock of F1 and the most hated driver universally on the grid. So I think that is probably the catalyst, but the wrist injury is definitely a good scapegoat, if you will.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, I made a video the other, I just like reposted it because I made it last year, but I was basically saying how there's no shitters in Formula One, like it's just low-key falling off because there's no sort of
I saw that you reposted that.
There's no sort of like, but like, I'm talking like, not like shit, like he's underperforming in the car. I'm talking like shit, like shit. You know what I mean? Like you look at him, like you look at the driver, you just laugh. You just think like, mate, you're just shit. You know what I mean?
Like Logan Sergeant type of vibe, or whatever.
When I posted it last year, everyone was saying Logan Sergeant, which I think.
I mean, realistically, as much as you want to pretend that you like Logan Sergeant, not talking to you, talking to the audience. If you want to pretend that you like Logan Sergeant, that's fine. But let's not pretend that he was not a terrible Formula One driver. You know what I mean? He was the definition of that. Kevin Magnussen wasn't shit. He was just chaotic and crashed a lot. Logan Sergeant crashed a lot and was also just pretty bad. So I think Logan Sergeant fits that profile. The Pastor Maldonado kind of vibe.
Yeah. For last year, definitely, yeah. But when you're looking at this year, like in my opinion, there's no one that's that shit. Like everyone in the comments was saying like, oh yeah, Lance Stroll this year, but he's had like decent results. Not now, but in the past.
He's dogging Alonso.
But yeah, he's got more points than him this season. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit of like a sad award to have to give out to someone like who's the shittest on the grid. But
it is tough. We do have a lot of rookies, and it's hard to tell thus far.
Yeah.
But we'll get one. We'll get one soon.
Yeah.
Anyways, we've been on this question for a minute, so let's move to question 4. Oh my God. Which fast food place would each driver be? That would take literally 2 hours to answer. So I'd say we try to come up with like 3 or 4 that we're happy with.
Yeah.
And then we can move on.
Yeah.
Because holy, that would take so long. Because like what fast food would fucking Nico Hulkenberg be? I have no idea. Probably Penn Station subs.
German doner kebab.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, I've never been, but it's
I'm gonna be
become
so
a thing.
real. All right, fair enough. So let's see.
For me, my easiest answer is Pastry Popeyes, for various motivations. Number 1, PP, Pastry Popeyes.
PP.
Number 2, Popeyes. What color is Popeyes?
Papaya.
Yeah, it's like papaya orange. Like basically just like the McLaren. And also, when you think of like a fast food restaurant, Popeyes isn't the first one that comes into your mind, okay? But then when you think about it, you think like, oh shit, Popeyes is actually really good. Like that should be one of the best ones that's coming into mind. Similar with Piastri. If I was to say to you like, oh, name a Formula One driver, you're probably more likely to say flipping, I don't know,
Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to say Piastri first try. Similar to Popeye. So I think that's the link that I'm colligating here.
I agree. I also, to reinforce the Oscar Piastri Popeyes movement, I would say before the hypothetical chicken sandwich, we all remember when the Popeyes chicken sandwich came out. It was like the biggest thing in the media. The hypothetical Popeyes chicken sandwich is the 2025 F1 season. And now everybody's buzzing about Popeyes, Oscar Piastri. I think that the hypothetical chicken sandwich is him winning 5 races this season already, or 4. I don't even remember. I think it's 4. But yeah, I wholeheartedly agree that Oscar Piastri is Popeyes because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Lando Norris is Five Guys. And I've hypothesized about this a little bit.
Go on.
Because Popeyes, you're always going to get a juicy situation. You know what I mean? You're getting a lot of grease, you're getting a lot of juice, you're getting a lot of drama, whether that's win or lose. But it's too damn expensive. That's what keeps me from going to Popeyes every day. It's because I'm paying $30 for a burger.
That's what keeps you going from
I'm not,
Five
and
Guys
that's
every
the
day.
same way I look at Lando Norris. I'm not dealing with Lando Norris every day. If he wants to sit on media day on Thursday and be like, I'm gonna win the rest of the season, I'm not gonna watch that or listen to that or pay attention to that. Or if he wants to sit in the post-race conference on Sunday and just cry his eyes out because he finished 5th, I'm not dealing with that. It's too expensive. Lando Norris, as a driver, mentally, is too expensive. I'm not giving him that much time and that much mental space. But when I do, he'll win a race or he'll do something stupid. He'll crash into Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
It's worth your buck every once in a while. But most of the time, it's just like, I'm not dealing with this shit.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with paying $30 for a burger that I could get anywhere else, except it's got some grilled mushrooms and stuff on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my TED talk on Lando Norris.
No, that's a good shot. I don't disagree with any of that. I think my next one, though, and I've got some pretty good reasons to back this one up. And I'm sure if you feel any other, you've got any other reasons, feel free to chime in. Max Verstappen, McDonald's, okay? That's the first thing, right?
I feel it. I feel this heavy.
Second of all, just simple, standard, everyday, you know what I mean? Like, McDonald's, there's one everywhere, right? And it's just so basic almost. Like, in the same way that, when, the drivers, on media day, they come in with, all their flashy outfits or whatever. Verstappen's just there in his Red Bull cap, Red Bull polo shirt, and just jeans, you know what I mean? Just simple. And I think, also the whole Kvyat situation, whatever, and with a baby on the way, he's just got he's just in a bit of a kiddie situation, you know what I mean? Sort of just
Oh my God.
Not like a dodgy way.
No, it's just a hilarious analogy. I've never thought about that.
I'm not saying that he likes kids or anything, but I'm just saying I can see him there just on the touch.
Why would I think that you were saying that?
I don't know. I think it sounded a bit weird when I said kiddie situation.
You're canceling yourself right now.
Sorry. Just to clarify, I don't think that Max Verstappen does. Yeah. Anyway, I can just sort of see him on the touch screens in McDonald's, just being like, kids, you want Happy Meal?
What do you mean I can only use one fucking deal? I feel like that it totally fits the profile.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole McDonald's app, right? He's a warrior when it comes to it. He's always got it ready. Points, please. You know what I mean? Just so Verstappen.
So fucking stupid. I agree that Max Verstappen is McDonald's because he sets the standard.
Yeah, and he's just number
for
one.
Every other driver / fast food place. Everybody sees McDonald's collab with Travis Scott or a movie. Now everybody wants to collab with a movie. Burger King, Dragon Flame, whatever the fuck. I don't know if you've been seeing commercials for that. And now KFC is making an F1 meal.
No
it's
way.
just now everybody wants to do collabs.
Shit, I've
because
got to fly to
McDonald's
the US
started
just to
that.
get the F1 KFC meal now.
You'll catch me dead before you catch me in a KFC, dog. I'm gonna be so real.
I kind of like KFC.
That is trailer park trash food. It is pretty good chicken though. I'm not gonna bother trying to put KFC on a driver. I've had enough. This is a waste of brain power. I hate this question. Whoever submitted this question, I hate you. I hate you.
No.
No, I'm saying that.
Oh no, we're gonna last 2 episodes.
No. Question 5. Has Ferrari wasted Charles Leclerc's prime? Let's hear this one from Zane first, because I'm sure you've got a few words.
Listen,
I'm gonna hold you accountable if you start saying some bullshit.
Listen.
Okay.
And write this down as well, okay?
I'm not going to.
The Ferrari doesn't waste your potential. You waste Ferrari's potential.
Yeah, that's getting clipped, and you're on Twitter. I'm telling you, you're on Twitter.
In the
as we
same way,
speak.
you know, in the free practices, right? You don't test the Ferrari car. The Ferrari car tests you. Okay, so I think it's just a bit of a love-hate relationship. I think Leclerc at this point in his career is just thinking like, fuck it, like, okay, maybe like the past couple of years have been a bit shit. Like we've always been like number 2, if not number 3, if not number 4, yep, if not number 8. Okay.
2020 Ferrari was spectacular.
But imagine retiring, like being in a Ferrari for like 10 years, like being the face, like he is basically the face of Ferrari at this point. I don't think.
Are you saying that's better than winning a championship?
Counts. Chat shit all you want. In my opinion, yeah. In my
This
opinion,
is
yeah.
full on delusion. This is what you have passed denial. You are now at acceptance. Because if you are telling me that you'd rather be the number 1 driver at Ferrari for 10 years while they suffer and burn instead of going to any other team and winning a championship or more, that is, I can't sympathize with that. You're insane. And I wouldn't say wasted. I think if he was elsewhere, he would be doing better. But I do think Ferrari is kind of his home. I won't lie.
Yeah, but also
it's yes, but like would he be anywhere else? It just doesn't work. Charles Leclerc cannot be at a team that's not Ferrari just because it won't work. He is developed. He knows the Ferrari language. Like he understands when Xavi or whatever the engineer's name is now hits him with a. It sounds like a like the teacher in Charlie Brown,
yeah,
where it's just like that's what they sound like on the radio, and he understands that. And Lewis can't.
Ferrari. Yeah.
Like it's Charles Leclerc is Ferrari.
He is Ferrari.
And while I would say yes,
and
his prime is being wasted. Early 2022 was a movie, so I just need Ferrari to be good.
Yeah,
Because then a Charles versus Max title fight, like that was insane for the 30 minutes that it lasted.
Yeah.
And I just need I need more of that.
yeah,
So Ferrari, stop wasting Charles Leclerc's prime. Because soon enough, you're going to be stuck with Lewis Hamilton, who is, he got the hair implants, but he's still, it's headed backwards, you know what I mean? And then you've got Ollie Behrman coming in. Don't waste another talent like this. You got to just fire the Italians. They don't know what they're doing. The last time this team was good was when Ross Brawn and a bunch of British people were running the team. And that's not me I'm from America. I can't say shit. Haas is horrible. Cadillac's probably going to be horrible. And I know I'm stealing this from Rocket Powered Mohawk because I heard him say it like a year ago. And I was like, you know what? That's so true. Whenever Ferrari has more Italians on the team, they're worse. So fire the Italians and start caring about your drivers.
but
That's it.
let me just stop you there, MC Grables. Okay, what's not to say that Ferrari aren't winning the championship this year and
Bro,
the year after?
I'm about to hang up the call. I'm about to hang up the call.
Trust me. But by the time Leclerc leaves Ferrari, he would have won minimum 2 championships. On God.
Or just like in general, you think he's going to win 2 championships with Ferrari? Like in the next however many years?
Deadass, yeah.
I mean, I can't like argue because like it's the future. All I can say is Mercedes is heavily rumored to have the best power unit for 2026.
Mercedes,
But I will say-
Mercedes. You know what I mean?
Ferrari nailed the 2022 regulations before they started like developing. They were best out of the gate. So maybe it happens in 2026. Maybe they get a little more of a lead than they did in 2022 with Red Bull. So maybe it'll happen. I would love to see it. And like we said in the last episode, Charles Leclerc is one of maybe like 3 people on the grid that if they won a championship, nobody would be mad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everyone would love that. You know what I mean?
All right. Next question. We got to get off the Ferrari train, dude. I'm about to lose my mind. More Ferrari. Do you think Hamilton will win another championship?
No.
If so, do you think Ferrari was the right move? No and no. It was not. He looks cool in red, and he got a lot of Instagram likes. But was it a good move? No, it was not.
I think, to answer the first question, he ain't winning the championship. There's more chance of like a flipping, I don't know.
Oh, here we go.
There's more of a chance of like a flipping cheater, okay, being a better swimmer than a fish. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no chance.
You've got to practice these a little more. I was waiting for a bombshell. Oh, God. Anyways, I agree. Lewis is not winning a championship.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's going backwards. That hairline of his.
Yeah,
he's getting old.
Just put the fries in the bag.
And you know, when you're younger, you absorb things quicker. Charles Leclerc was able to master the Ferrari language at like 19. Lewis is like 50, and he's not going to be able to learn that. You can't learn a language nearly as easily when you're older. I mean, Ferrari's a fine move for PR. He's probably getting the most money out of that move.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, if you know you're about to retire, sure, why not go to Ferrari? Try to win a race or two. I get that. But the way this question's phrased is, do you think Hamilton will win another world championship? If so, do you think Ferrari was the right move? So for me, it sounds like, is Ferrari the right move to go and try and win another championship? No. It's a good move to make the most money you can before you retire, inevitably.
In terms of actually winning shit, like, Ferrari isn't the best move for him at all. But I think just a personal thing. Like, all drivers want to at least drive in a Ferrari once. You know what I mean? And I think he just got to the stage in his career sort of like, oh yeah, I'm probably not going to win another championship as long as I stay here. So maybe let's just go to Ferrari now and then fuck it, go on holiday for the rest of my life. I think that's what it was. Shit, we actually agreed on something.
I know,
bro.
Okay, we'll see if we can continue the streak. If question 7 is about Ferrari, I'm going to pull my hair out. Oh, we are not talking about Ferrari. What did you think of the edit I made for your podcast by Clara? This was the first thirst trap edit. Did I enjoy watching it? Not really.
Be honest, how do you react when people make an edit to you? Like, not this specific one, but just in general. Like, when someone makes an edit about you, like, how do you feel?
No one's made an edit about me until this podcast.
What?
Or like
No
very
way.
soon before.
No way.
People have made edits of the chair, but nobody's ever made an edit of me. I don't really like it. It makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
People are gonna do it, but it's just like, especially HaasLover20 found my personal Instagram, which is not hard to find. But how did you react? Because it sounds like you enjoy them.
No. Okay, the first one that dropped, right? The first one that dropped, like, probably about a year ago now. I was like, I just found it like just so funny. Like, the fact that someone has gone, like, took time out of their day, like, probably like a good, like, 15 minutes minimum to make an edit of Zayn Sewell. For me, it's just like hilarious. I just can't imagine that. Like, I don't even spend more than 15 minutes on a video myself. Okay, let alone someone there making a video of me, right? And then, but then they do get a bit weird though. Like, there was one that was made of us, and I did see it, and at first I was being like, oh shit.
Yep, like, no, that's all. No, I don't want to talk about that. I know what you're talking about. I don't want to talk about that. That was weird.
It was very weird.
HaasLover20, you need to calm down.
Yeah. There's limits to this shit. I mean,
we have girlfriends.
Yes.
Okay.
Retweet.
Leave us alone.
But like, when I saw that they like tagged us in a video and like made like an edit or something, like, oh, it's gonna be like a cool like video like promoting the podcast or whatever.
Yeah. That one was rough. HaasLover20, that one was bad.
The first edit they did was good.
Yeah, we need to talk about Claire's
edit.
edit. Claire's edit was good fun. It was just from the podcast material.
Yeah.
No suggestive photos mixed into it, trying to imply something that makes everyone very uncomfortable. And it was good fun. Yeah. It was a better, for me, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And with that one.
So Clara, excellent job. Well,
because
yeah.
we also reposted it. Okay, we put it on our stories because they're nice and pleasurable. No, like, not pleasurable. Yeah, I'm just gonna shut up, mate. You do the talking, please. Why did Griff write?
It was wholehearted. It was innocent, and it was fun. I'm not giving this any more attention than we've already given it. Question number 8 is Zane, are you okay?
Like right now, no.
I can't answer this one for you.
I was just at work today. It's just a bit shit, but in terms of, I mean, no, to be fair, like this weekend, I'm actually, for the first time, I'm actually missing Formula One. Like usually, like when there's a race weekend, like when there's a weekend with no Formula One, I'm loving it because I'm like, yes, like Ferrari can't ruin this weekend. It's going to be like good
Yeah,
vibes.
like I can just have a week off.
Yeah, literally, it's sort of like a week off
And
from
for me,
work.
it is literally a week off work.
Yeah, that's
like I have to do
literally what
less
it's
stuff.
No pain, no suffering. But this weekend, because we're in like a decent role, like in decent form, where Ferrari's actually like fun to watch, I kind of missed Formula One. And I was like, shit, like this is what it must feel like for like other Formula One fans. But I suppose inside that means that I'm sort of like, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the way that Ferrari are. So yeah, I'm not bad. I'm not bad. Got work tomorrow though, so yeah.
You'll be all right.
Yeah,
we'll be posting clips of the podcast and stuff.
Yeah,
tomorrow,
exactly.
So.
You do know that
assured.
in my lunch break, I literally just, that's when I like clip all like the clips.
Really?
For the podcast. Yeah, I just don't socialize in that hour, and I just make clips. But yeah, game to game.
Yeah, basically Zane handles the clips and I handle the full episode.
Yeah,
that's kind of how we've divided it up.
Yeah.
But if you're an editor that likes editing podcasts, what up?
Yeah, I suppose
you should help us because we want to fucking die making these episodes. No, I'm kidding. It's very fun, but it's very taxing sometimes.
Yeah.
Like the first episode, trying to get the first episode out made me want to pull my hair out, like I've said. Question number 9. Will the beef between Verstappen and the FIA cause Verstappen to have a career shift? What do we think about that?
Nah, it's not that deep.
Yeah,
surely.
it's just phrased wrong. I think Verstappen is due for a career shift, but not because of his beef with the FIA.
Yeah.
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah, it's not that deep, surely. Like, I think something is coming up in his future where he's gonna like. I think he's gonna leave Formula One earlier than people expect. Just because he's like he's Max Verstappen. He's won everything. I don't think he's that bothered about going like after 8 championships. I don't know. I think it'll depend after 2026, like how he feels after then. But I think he'll definitely want to see 2026, of course.
I actually just saw something on Instagram today. What's that one guy's name? The Red Bull pit guy that was all over Drive to Survive. I think his name's Callum or something. I don't remember. But he said Max is supposed to leave after 2025. Don't really know why that would be credible, but I saw it today. So, I don't know. We'll see if Callum's right. But I don't think he's leaving, and I don't think he's leaving because of his beef with the FIA. I don't know. That has nothing, like, his penalty points, like, who cares? I don't think that's serious. I think if anything, it would be he's just bored, and Red Bull sucks, and he doesn't want to deal with adapting to a new team, so he's just going to go and do what he loves.
Yeah.
Which is endurance racing.
Yeah, literally. Like even this year, I'm not seeing him loving it, like I'm not having, in my opinion, the fastest car. You might think different, but yeah, like when he's not winning, he's not happy. But then even then, when he is winning, like the biggest smile that you get out of him is like this.
He was pretty stoked to get pole in Japan or something. There was something he was very excited about. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was pole. I think he was like, that was the first time I'd heard him scream on the radio, like out of joy,
but
in a very long time.
Deep it though. Have we ever seen Max Verstappen's tongue?
I don't really want to think about that.
No, I think it's a valid question. Like, I don't think he's ever been happy enough to like stick his tongue out. You know what I mean? Sorry. Moving on to the next question.
Okay, question 10. Predictions for the Cadillac drivers. I've already predicted them. So I'll let you marinate this question. I'll just go over what I said in my video. I have Sergio Perez, number 1 driver, because that's my king, and everyone immediately realized that he was not the problem at Red Bull. And then I've got Jack Crawford, the blue-blooded American, in the 2nd seat for PR and also just banking on someone you can rely on for the future to build the team around. You know what I mean? Not just grabbing Valtteri off the shelf for 2 years before he forgets how to drive an F1 car. That's my thought. I think a good old and young pairing is how you create perfection at Cadillac. please do that, because I would really like to buy some Jack Crawford or Sergio Perez Cadillac merch. Cadillac, so take notes, please.
I think I'm going to go like a similar path that you went, sort of like an experienced driver and then a more younger driver. I'm saying the more experienced driver. I'm just looking who's available. I'm thinking Bottas could make sense. I feel like he's still got something left in him, and maybe like they could just deal with, like they could just like do with someone that's just like semi-decent and just not going to cause any surprises, you know what I mean? So I think that's an okay shout. And the second one, I'm thinking Schumacher. Okay, there's money there. And also I think like, and I don't mean this in an offensive way, but I feel like, obviously like where Formula One's still grown in America, right? There's the odd chance that you might just like be able to tap into a market of maybe sort of like people, like Americans that used to like Formula One back in the day, or just like sort of just like know the big names like Hamilton or whatever. And maybe by putting a Schumacher in there, you might get a lot of ignorant people thinking like, oh shit, there's Schumacher's come back to Formula One. Oh yeah, let's follow Cadillac team and follow Schumacher.
Americans are a lot dumber than that, Zane. I don't think they know who Schumacher is. I think they just know what the American flag means.
Oh, okay, that's a bit of a stretch then.
That's what I'm going for. And I have Schumacher going to Audi, so I also have faith in the kid. But yeah, I've got Crawford just because of PR and people getting stoked on a new American.
That would be sick.
And like I said in my video, one of my best friends from high school is named Jack Crawford, and I think it's so funny that like I've been following Jack Crawford since like a while ago. And he made it to F2 with Red Bull, and then he did pretty terrible, and I was like, fuck, he's not going to make it to F1. And now he's got a really good chance. So I'm very excited to see if Jack Crawford... And for the old guy, it's really just a matter of who do you think is more reliable, Valtteri or Sergio Perez?
I think Sergio Perez, to be honest. Like,
you think Sergio, or you don't think Sergio?
No, I think if I was Cadillac, I'd prefer to go for Sergio Perez.
Yeah, because also it's Mexico. Like, it's in the Americas. Yeah. So I think having an all North American driver lineup would do pretty cool things for Cadillac. All right, question 11. Are you sad that DRS is getting replaced with MOM, manual override mode? We can rephrase this as thoughts on DRS being replaced with MOM in 2026. It's stupid. I don't like active aero. I think DRS has been worked on for the past 15 years. It's been refined and fixed, and the zones have been perfectly, like, changed. In like Miami this year, it was dialed. It was finally the perfect length. It wasn't too long, it wasn't too short. They finally got it right. So why are we just ripping up DRS, the thing that we've been trying to figure out for 10 plus years, and change it with MOM?
Yeah.
Am I really going to say that my mom's open? My mom's closed. My mom's broken. Back end, because it's on the front and the back, right?
Yeah, it would be mom.
Yeah, mom's open from the back, but not the front. Like, are you kidding me? That's disgusting. I'm not saying that. I'm not gonna say that. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, your mom's wide open. No. Oh. No, I don't want to hear that.
No.
DRS is just like either. It's just like it sounds really cool as well. You know what I mean? Like to say DRS, I love to just like drop it in any sentence.
It sounds cool. It sounds badass.
Just like it's just like one of them
MOM
words.
or mom.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid.
It's like changing the name Megatron, okay, to flipping Daisy Wazy. You know what I mean? Like, just why?
Zane, you are a treasure. You know that?
Thanks.
I love the analogies. Thanks. I love them. They really do make the show. Question 12, go Tiffy or Mazepin? This is not even a question, dude. If you know, you know. I don't want to get into it, but Nikita Mazepin is a piece of shit. So I will always go with the go Tiffy himself. Yeah. The man who will get lost on a Formula One track. The man who is majoring in business now and is going to take over the world. Not Mazepin, I'm not even going to get into it. Nikita Mazepin's a terrible person. So that's all I'm going to say about
also,
that. Zane, what do you think?
Nicholas Latifi, let's let's not forget, okay? Lest we forget, let me use a proper English. Lest we forget that this man once had an entire cupboard full of Nutella. Like, do you realize how mad that is?
What are you talking about?
You've never seen it?
Never seen what? Nicholas Latifi's Pantry? No, I have not seen it.
Do you like what do you watch on your phone? Like, do you just like watch the weather app and shit? Like,
I don't watch Nicholas Latifi YouTube.
Oh, I'm a chronic Nicholas Latifi lover. You know, I actually have done a Latifi pilgrimage to the Latifi house, which
I have seen that, and that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I won't lie.
If you ever want to come over to the Latifi house, just let me know and we can organise a pilgrimage.
If I'm ever in the greater London area, I will let you know.
That's cool. That's cool.
But anyways, what is this Latifi Nutella thing?
Oh, basically just... the thing is, I can't actually remember the actual, like the original video. I just remember seeing I just know the edits. It's basically just like him, he just opens the cupboard and it's just like 20 jars of Nutella in there.
Is it like a commercial or is it literally
No, it's
just
not
him?
even. It's just him in his house. He's just got Nutella everywhere. Nutella all over the gaff, mate. It's like...
Question 13. How would you commit another Crashgate? Who's winning? Who's the sacrifice? And who's taking the fall? This is a very open-ended question. If I can control who wins a race, I'm picking like Nico Hülkenberg. He will win the race. The sacrifice can be Bortoletto. I don't give a fuck about his ass. He's just a rookie. He's got plenty of time to rehabilitate his image. Who's taking the fall? Since we're keeping it in Kick Sauber, Mattia Binotto. That's my answer. It's a perfect storm. It gets Binotto out of the sport. Gabriel Bortoletto, he'll be fine. He's a rookie. He can just say that he got manipulated into doing it the way that Nelson Piquet Jr. claims. And then Nico Hülkenberg wins the race. I don't see what's wrong with that.
My one would be Alonso is the one that wins the race. Okay,
number 33 would be sick.
Okay. Alonso wins the race. And the way that he does it is he gets, obviously... Wait, is that ice not melted everywhere?
Not really. This McDonald's ice doesn't... I was about to eat one.
I think at this point...
You can keep going, though.
And then, obviously, I think Stroll... He's just going to, convince Stroll to, crash into all the other 18 drivers, okay? And then he'll also just sort of, crash himself as well towards the end. And then he can just, Stroll can take the blame for it as well, because I think he's basically just accepted his fate in Formula 1. So I think it works out for everyone. Alonso wins, Stroll leaves. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Good question, though. That was a good question.
Yeah. These ice cubes are pretty delectable, but now it's dripping everywhere. Question 14. Do you think Checo deserves an apology for his last 2 seasons at Red Bull? We kind of already went over this, honestly.
Yeah.
I said yes.
I think the last season, the most recent season, 2024, no, because he just was pretty shit. But the year before that, yeah, because he still did decent considering it's that second Red Bull seat. And when you look at everyone else that's been in that seat after him, you sort of just puts it into perspective and you just sort of think shit, he had it tough and we was going after him hammer and tongs. So yeah.
I agree. I think 2021, 2022, Perez is doing great.
Yeah.
He goes a second.
He did his job.
In, was it 22 or 23 when everyone was like, oh my God, Perez is going to win the title? I think it was 23. I don't know. I don't think he was ever in the lead of the championship, but he was close.
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely competing.
Yeah, it was close for a while. So obviously, I agree. Sergio Perez needs to be apologized to, and that Cadillac seat needs to go to him. So, all right,
good.
Question 15. If the Paddock Pets got into a fight, who would win? Me. Because I'm inserting myself just to deck Leo Leclerc in the mouth.
No, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this.
We're doing this again. I don't even care. No, but to actually answer this question, I think Roscoe just absolutely murks everyone. I mean, are you kidding me? That dog's 50 pounds, whether it's muscle, fat. And I know he's Lewis has bestowed upon him this pretty zesty personality, but I don't think that's stopping him in the ring, if I'm being honest. If they're all duking it out on the pit lane, Roscoe emerges victorious 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Roscoe's probably like the obvious answer, but you could also make a case for Lando Norris, considering that Piastri just owns him and he's basically a dog at this point.
Question number 16. Which driver would have a burner Twitter account to troll? Who comes to mind here? I obviously think Lando Norris, like right away, because he's way too obsessed with social media. But I do think there's some underground picks here.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of drivers that I could imagine to have a burner Twitter just to like fuck with people.
I think Sainz is definitely on the list. Like, he just seems like that sort of guy
I also think Sainz could be.
He's got like an evil laugh, you know what I mean? Like a tee sort of thing. Sorry.
Yeah, I could see him laying like on his stomach, on his bed, kicking his feet up in the air, just like replying to some guy who just said Sainz is terrible. I think that would be very funny. I could totally see it. I could also see Alex Albon. I think the Williams boys are both perfect examples.
Yeah.
Because especially Alex Albon's got the history of the Twitch streams. He knows what he's doing online.
Yeah, that's a good shot. I think you can make a good case for Esteban Ocon as well. I don't think he's saying like anything that creative or anything, but just sort of just like very just dead banter, but just like getting the job done, just commenting shit like fuck Alpine, fuck Gasly, you know what I mean? But like not actually.
Yeah, I would say Ocon on burner Twitter would just be defending himself and shitting on other drivers.
Exactly. Just saying shit like, oh yeah, Ocon, top 3 drivers on the grid sort of thing. But like,
yeah,
not much to sort
like
of
some
like
Kevin Durant activity.
Yeah. Just like, I think it's just his way to like get it out of his system, because he's putting on like a brave face recently. Like he's not letting he's containing his anger, but I feel like there's a lot of anger behind them eyes, and I feel like maybe just gets him out on his burner Twitter account.
I think so too. I think that genuinely makes a lot of sense. All right, you ready to move on, or do you want to touch on more burner Twitter?
No, let's go. Next question.
All right, question 17. Ooh, this is a spicy one. Is Netflix hurting or enhancing the image of F1? What do you think? Do you have an answer prepared?
It's making it seem more dramatic. Okay, but don't get me wrong, it is dramatic. Like, it is already sort of very glorified, glamified, whatever words you want to use. It's very Hollywoody. I think it always has been to a certain extent, especially like even before like Netflix came about, like Drive to Survive. So I think it's just opened it up to a wider amount of people, but it's just definitely focusing more on the actual people and the drivers and the team principals, and just like the feelings, which sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really give a shit about.
That's very fair.
What's your take?
I think it's a perfect segue, and I know people always say that, like, oh, like if you haven't watched F1 before, watch Drive to Survive. I think it goes a step further in being a perfect way to get into F1, because I think the perfect pipeline is if you want to get into F1 in 2025, you can watch Drive to Survive, and you can be like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. You can watch a couple races, maybe go on Reddit or Instagram, Twitter, join a Discord server, discord.gg/consumerverse, and then you can start figuring out, oh, Drive to Survive is actually not that accurate, and that gives you a sense of belonging. Because first, Drive to Survive gives you a sense of belonging, because you're like, okay, I actually like understand who these people are, and then soon enough, you feel like you know what you're talking about and that you're an actual F1 fan because you realize that Drive to Survive is kind of a bunch of bullshit, and that's okay.
Yeah,
it's bullshit for a reason. It gets people hooked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true, because like I've been trying, when I tried to get into other sort of like racing series, like I tried to get into Formula E last year, and I'm not gonna lie, it's sort of tough because like you can watch the races, but there's just like, you know, you don't understand a lot of it. Like I know we take the piss out of like Will Buxton and Netflix saying like stupid shit like, when it rains.
But people need that.
Yeah, you sort of need someone to say like, when it rains, the track gets wet. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I feel like I sound stupid, but okay, maybe not that extreme. But I sort of need someone to tell me, especially in like Formula E, what are the go faster routes, things like what's push mode, what's defend mode. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like as an absolute beginner, you need to have. It definitely helps, because when I just tried watching Formula E races, I was just so confused.
Just give Dan Ticktum his own show.
Yeah.
That's all I want from Formula E.
Yeah.
Dan Ticktum is awesome. I don't care if you hate Dan Ticktum. I wish he was in F1 just for the drama. He is a radio queen. He has mastered the art of bitching on the radio, and I love it. I love it so much. I just remember the one where he was like, Roberto, if you're on the line, tell my taxi to be ready in 15 minutes. I'm getting out of here. Do I have to weigh or can I just leave? And don't just say go to weigh. Can we find out if I actually have to weigh? It's so funny.
I've seen that on TikTok.
I love Dan Ticktum. We don't have to go on a rant about Dan Ticktum. Question 18. This one's long as fuck. I can see from like the spoiler.
God.
We're combining an ass ton of McLaren questions because there are so many. Do you think Lando Norris will become a champion / will he overtake Oscar in the standings, or will he bottle / will we get to see an on-track battle between the McLarens / which driver is better? Okay.
Is that like a 12-mark question? Do I need to get like a pen and paper out or something?
Guys, the Discord staff fumbled this one. I'm not going to lie. Okay. Do I think Lando Norris will win a championship? My gut answer is no, if I'm being honest. I'm going to be honest. I think if he's on a team with Oscar, he's not winning a championship. Because for a long time, Oscar was that Popeyes without the chicken sandwich. It was just, you need one more step to get to that stardom level, to get to that championship contender mode. He's got that. The chicken sandwich is here. And it's on the menu, motherfucker. And Lando Norris is eating that shit. I don't think he's winning a championship if Oscar Piastri performs at this level. And Oscar's younger than him. And I don't see Lando going to a team where he would be able to beat Oscar on pure mechanical performance. I don't think McLaren will ever be that far behind in the next few years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, my gut reaction to the question was, yes, he will be a world champion. But then when you bring up the point, like, him alongside Piastri, I fully agree that, like, if he's alongside Piastri, especially now, like, okay, maybe Piastri's first, second year or whatever, but, like, now Piastri, he's just going to get better and better, and I just can't see Norris beating him across the whole season. That's what I'm saying.
It should be noted, though, if Lando Norris figures out how to stop being such a fucking pussy, maybe he has a chance. But right now, with his mental state and just the way he approaches racing, he's not beating Piastri because Piastri has that Verstappen, I don't give a fuck attitude.
Yeah.
That Fernando Alonso mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Lewis Hamilton is more similar to Lando in the sense that he yearns for public approval. But I think Lewis is just such a good driver that it doesn't matter. And he was in such a good car that it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Lando doesn't have that luxury. And he also has a teammate that is better than him at the moment. So if he gets his mental clutter sorted out, then maybe. I think that answers almost all of them. Will he overtake Oscar in the standings?
No.
Maybe.
Maybe
I think he might get the lead again, but you don't think he's getting the lead for the rest of the season?
No, I said he might, but temporarily, you know what I mean?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Will we get to see an on-track battle between the McLarens? Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
It'd be nice.
Oscar's probably going to win, unless there's a strategy offset.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not, I have a Lando Norris hat. I don't have any Oscar Piastri merch. Like, Lando's my guy. But I'm not going to, like, I acknowledge my bias. I got a degree in journalism, motherfucker. I know how to acknowledge my own bias and put it aside.
Can't relate.
Very fair. Very fair. Question 19. Back to the fucking Tifosi. What changes would Ferrari have to do in order to win a championship title? Fire the Italians. They're stupid. I'm kidding. If you're Italian, I don't mean any harm by it. It's just, y'all have got some work to do. And I don't know if the Italians are the problem, but based on the past, it does actually seem like the Italians are the problem.
It seems like a stupid question, though, because, like, if we knew the answer, surely we just do it and win.
Yeah, well, it's not that simple in Formula One. You've got contracts, you've got sponsorships you got to deal with. Like, it's not just a simple yes or no question.
I think what would suit us is just to have, like, a clear number one and number two driver. In the sense that I feel like the position that we're in, we could actually really benefit from that, because like it's the same situation that, for example, remember when the whole when like Mercedes were dominant, and it was sort of like, okay, Ferrari sometimes in second place, but then towards the end of that sort of era, there was Red Bull with basically just Max Verstappen and whoever, like whether it was Gasly or Albon or whatever. But it sort of propelled them, and it gave them like a bit of what, you know, once Verstappen got a bit of a taste for that victory, it just seemed to like everything just seemed to be getting like better and better from there, like a domino effect. And I think like realistically, what would have made more sense if we're not looking at money? Okay, if we're assuming that everyone's like got the same amount of money, or whatever. Well, apart from the fact that that would just change everything completely. But Behrman would have actually made a lot more sense. Just sort of had like a young rookie driver that can just sort of support Leclerc and let Leclerc just be the number one. And I think we'd actually benefit so much more from that.
I agree.
At least stick
I
one
definitely
car
agree.
up there.
It's an exact mirror of the Vettel Leclerc problem.
Yeah.
Because in 2018, Ferrari had a pretty good car. And in 2019 when they weren't cheating.
Yeah.
But Vettel Leclerc was a problem. And it was just team orders out the wazoo from the Tifosi, or from the Scuderia, excuse me. But yeah, I agree. I don't think they should have signed Lewis Hamilton. I think they were just doing this for PR. I don't really know why.
Sure.
I don't see why Ferrari would agree to this. I see why Lewis Hamilton would want this, but I don't see why Ferrari would agree to this. Because Lewis Hamilton, he got to walk out of the little red house in Maranello, and dude, that was like in February, everyone lost their minds when Lewis, like, he was in the Ferrari house and he was wearing his Ferrari suit. Why does Ferrari care about that? They should be caring about winning championships. And I agree. If you like, you need a number one, number two to do that. And McLaren's doing it without that because they've got a good enough car. When you don't have a good enough car, you need a Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez. You need a Charles Leclerc, Ollie Behrman type of vibe.
And the thing is,
you need George Russell, Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah, and it's working. I mean, the thing is, they don't even have to be like, the drivers don't have to be best friends. I actually prefer if they hated each other. Like, what pissed me off, right? Sorry to go back to hating and shitting on the dogs, right? Not literally, but just like... Going back to the dog question. Remember a couple months ago where they posted like the pictures of like a dog play date with Leclerc, Hamilton with Roscoe and Leo playing together? That shit pissed me off. I think I made a whole video about this as well. I basically just said, put the flipping dogs down, yeah. Leave them with the missus, okay? Lewis, if you don't have a missus, leave the dog with the flipping, I don't know, the housemaid, or I don't know, like whoever's, I don't know, cleaning your mansion. Leave the dogs there, yeah. Either focus on either beating each other or beating the rest of the grid. Let's
look at some telemetry instead of playing with our dogs.
Exactly. I'm going to use this phrase perfectly. This is not doggy daycare, okay? This is Formula One. So put the flipping dogs down, okay, and just win, please.
And I don't think that happens with Lewis Hamilton. It does not. And with too many Italians on the team. Lewis literally can't understand. Is it Ricky or is it a new guy?
Oh yeah, they literally can't understand him, yeah.
He literally can't understand him. And Miami and Spain, right? There were team order conflicts at Ferrari. I'm pretty sure it was Miami and Spain. That's not happening with Ollie Behrman.
Yeah.
I mean, respectfully, he's a rookie. Like, he was well off the pace in Jeddah last year, and I mean, he's great, but he's not matching pace with Charles Leclerc. And I mean, I am surprised that Lewis is doing so, but you know, whatever. It's still a problem when both drivers have an ego.
Yeah.
And I don't think Ollie Behrman would have an ego at this point in his career. This is the last question.
Ooh.
If ESPN wanted their own broadcast booth, who would you want to call / who could be in the next generation of F1 commentators? And they can be outside of the current grid. This is a great question, but this is a tough question. The first person that came to mind is Mike Breen from the NBA. You know Mike Breen?
Yeah.
Bang! Back out to fuck. Hold on. I gotta get it right. James catches, puts up a three, won't go, rebound Bosch, back out to Allen, his three-pointer, bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining. Thank you, everybody.
Your accents and impressions are on point. I've said this before. They're actually good.
Well, I wasn't even really trying that hard.
Do me.
Do you?
Yeah. No, mate. Don't feed into them edits. Mate, no.
Dude, if someone... Okay, back to the edits thing, because people are probably going to make more edits. Let's request a song or two. What do we think? Do we want to just say something stupid, or do we want to say a song that we actually like? Because what kind of music do you listen to? I don't even know.
I listen to purely Italian trap.
What the fuck is that?
Like trap music, but in Italian.
What is it, like a translation, or is there Italian trap artists?
Yeah, it's Italian trap artists, man.
Give me a name.
Lazza.
Lazza.
Sfera
How do you spell
Basta.
that? L-A-T-Z-A?
Lazza.
Lazza. Holy, this guy looks insane. He
looks
looks like
chipmunk,
Cole
right?
Palmer a little bit. Looks like a little chubbier Cole Palmer with tattoos.
You're not wrong. He looks like a minion if a minion was in real life, right?
But do we want that in an edit?
No, in an edit, maybe not. I feel like you've got something in the back
There's
of
that
your mind.
one. Have you seen the cat edit? Carl Anthony Towns with the "Said chew all on my bubble gum." It's like the zesty edit.
Yeah, that
one would be pretty funny.
They've already done an edit to me with that song, mate.
The bubblegum one?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It is rough.
Do you know Imagine Dragons? I fucking hate. Everyone hates Imagine Dragons, but it would be really funny.
Okay, I thought you was gonna like.
No, I'm not being serious.
No. I thought that was a trap because I thought you was gonna say, "Do you like Imagine Dragons?" And I was gonna say, "Yeah," and then you was gonna say.
Okay, so final answer for the song that anything Kevin MacLeod. You know Kevin MacLeod?
No, I don't.
He makes like the copyright free music that's all over YouTube, like the dun 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 dun, or like the monkey spinning monkeys song. Kevin MacLeod. You'll find it.
Okay,
You'll recognize the music.
I trust you. I trust you.
Right.
If no one makes it, that's just gonna be a bit embarrassing, though, isn't it? So.
Someone's gonna make it.
Please.
Dude, Haaslover20 is probably gonna want to redeem herself after our rude comments.
Oh no, she has
so
to, surely,
okay,
please.
back to this question. If ESPN wanted their own broadcast booth, who would you want to call and who would you want to be in the next generation of F1 commentators? I said Mike Breen. I think that'd be fire if he knew what he was talking about. That'd be sick. Who do you got?
I think.
Stop smiling, dude.
I think I've got mine on lock, and I think I've managed to figure out sort of like the perfect duo. I'm thinking sort of like a mix of laughter, seriousness, and just like a good dynamic. I'm thinking Daniel Ricciardo. Okay, like I can listen to him for hours. Like everything that he says is engaging and it's funny. And second of all, Theo Von. Theo Von x F1 would be the best collab ever.
That would be so fire, dude.
Like,
I'm not.
I'll let you do the impression of it because you're better than me.
You're putting me on the spot right now, dude.
Go on. All right.
Give me a situation that I need to commentate.
Okay.
Give me an instance.
I'll be Daniel Ricciardo and you'll be Theo Von. Okay. We'll just like.
But like, what's happening on the track right now?
Let's just say there's been a collision between Yuki Tsunoda and George Russell.
Okay. Do you want to start it off, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I can start off.
Okay. Action.
Holy moly! The two have collided. Oh, they've gone straight into the wall there. I think that's Yuki Tsunoda and it looks like George Russell. Oh, you got a feel for the bloke, mate. Theo, what are you saying?
Oh man, yeah, that reminds me of this one time I was on my bike as a kid, and I ran into this big trailer. I felt like Yuki Tsunoda in that moment because I was so small, and George Russell's he's kind of a tall guy. I'm not good at Theo Von. Dude. I can't do it.
You are. No, mate. Trust me.
I think it's very easy to say when you're British and everything sounds the fucking same.
It could be, but
I don't think I'm good at it.
In that case, for any British audio listeners right now, no, we haven't just got Theo Von on the podcast just then. The production levels aren't that high.
It actually was just me.
Yeah.
It was just me. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I used to be good at some impressions, but I can't remember which ones. Everyone, my old party trick was doing Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
But I'll save that for next episode. I have heard that it's pretty good, though.
All right. New segment every episode. We bring an impression to the table.
Yeah, leave a comment and tell us what impressions you want me to do or try. So that's all the questions, though. And this episode is already long as shit, so maybe no Canada predictions today.
Yeah.
But we'll I think we're gonna try to do some pre-race live episodes, live streams. So when we make a Twitch account, we'll link it places. And yeah.
I mean,
we don't have time for predictions.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we'll put some stories up for you guys to put in some like other questions for like maybe we'll answer like the best 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever every episode. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled out for that. If you're not following us already on Instagram and TikTok, they'll be plugged somewhere. Just if we don't put it on the screen right now, you can actually do something for once. Maybe just like, I don't know, read the caption and see like the tagged accounts there. Sorry.
Facts. And you can leave a comment about your favorite question or your favorite epic moment from the episode or your favorite impression that I did. I don't know.
But yeah, but if you've got any other options like for the commentary thing, it'd be pretty cool to see like what you guys think. So yeah, let us know.
Yeah, true. I want to hear what you guys have to say for these questions. I want to hear your answers, especially the commentary one, or just maybe if you really hate us now and you disagree with our takes, let us know. And be sure to leave a 5-star rating on the show while you're at it. And also write us a review on Apple Podcasts. If you write us a review on Apple Podcasts, you will be featured in the next episode.
Yeah.
If you write a 5-star review and say something funny. So
yeah,
go be funny.
And also for any other creators out there that are like chimed in on our sort of like speech about like the editing, like making edits for us sort of thing. If you're not able to make edits for us, feel free to like, I don't know, write a poem about us. I think that would like touch us in a more like sentimental
that'd be way
way.
cooler.
Yeah.
Like a poem or maybe like a documentary.
Yeah.
Or
a theme song.
A song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe
just not us and then putting a choice video in between us and suggesting some really gross stuff. I didn't like that. So with that being said, thanks for listening to episode 2 of the Backmarkers podcast. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials, and when you fall asleep, put the episode on 1 volume so we get more plays. Gotta do what I gotta do. Yeah. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We're going to be doing more viewer questions, hopefully, in the future when there's not a race weekend going on and not anything to talk about when we don't have a guest or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, we will keep you updated. Be sure to look out on TikTok and Instagram for our clips. And yeah, that's going to be about it from Average F1 Consumer. Zane Sewell, give any final thoughts?
Now you can go to bed because Charles Leclerc isn't quite a newlywed, but when you see him win the championship, you're going to wet the bed.
I'm turning my camera off.